Hey guys, what's up? It's Dean and welcome to Ask Dean. This is the July 3rd edition. So, Ask Dean is pretty simple. You ask me questions and I answer them. I'll try to get to about 5 per week. Just send them to me and I'll add them to my list and answer them, and they'll come out as every Friday. That is the goal. I've done these before, mostly in blog post form, so now I'll also do them in video form. And this is the first episode. So, let's start. We have Daniel Widows from the United Kingdom, and he says, "Alright Dean, I'm quite curious about something. Whether or not yoga in general is good for building muscle. I'm getting into calisthenics and was wondering if you could give me a bit of advice. Would your yoga be best done on its own or accompanied by weight training, body weight training for building muscle?" Daniel, so yoga is fantastic for building muscle if it's done the right way. If you're doing just restorative yoga practice like pigeon and reclined quad stretch and some seated forward folds, it's going to be a great complement to your body weight exercises, but you'll need more than just that type of yoga alone. Manful yoga, on the other hand, focuses on incorporating those body weight exercises or performing yoga poses in such a way that they challenge your endurance, they challenge your strength in the same way that a traditional calisthenics or body weight training exercise would. So, short answer, yes, manful yoga is good for building muscle. Next question, Caleb McNabb, who is a cross-country athlete and high school student. He says, "Hey Dean, my name is Caleb and I've been looking at your videos for a while, and now that I'm doing cross-country at my school, I thought you had the physique that was good enough to not be completely skinny and still have a good enough body to run." Well, thanks. I'm glad that I'm not completely skinny. My problem is that I'm 6'1" and about 130 pounds, and I want to try to put on some muscle, but with my metabolism, it's hard to gain and easy to lose. So, how can I get the body that I want and keep up with my lifestyle? Caleb, I've got some bad news for you. Cross-country isn't a great sport to promote gaining muscle mass. So, your body adapts to the physical exercise that you do. And if you're running for a minimum of, let's say, 5 miles and up to 10 miles, maybe 12 miles, I don't know how long your cross-country focuses on. But if you're running long distance, it's not a great way to build muscle. You're really not going to build muscle doing cross-country. My suggestion is that you take a few months off of cross-country. So in your off-season, stop running altogether. I mean, you can still do maybe 2 or 3 shorter runs per week and start doing more bodyweight exercises. So start doing some more manful yoga in addition to your running. Just not as much running, much more focused on resistance training, bodyweight exercises, manful yoga. And then after you've done that for 3 to 4 months, try going back to cross-country. And when you go back, make sure that you're still doing these exercises. Make sure you're still doing manful yoga in conjunction with your cross-country training. And hopefully that way you'll be able to maintain a lot of that muscle mass. But if you just start doing manful yoga and you keep running the way that you are right now, you're not going to build muscle mass, especially being that tall and being that young with that really quick metabolism. So stop running. Do more manful yoga, and then go back and do manful yoga with your running. Short answer. Next question. We have Brad Murphy, and he says, "Hey Dean, I'm just wondering if your practice consists mainly of independent yoga or if you also pair it with weight training." So, 80% of what I do is manful yoga. Is yoga, attending other yoga classes, focusing on building endurance, building strength through yoga. The other part of what I do is mostly pull-ups, bodyweight exercises like squats, one-legged squats, which I incorporate into manful yoga, and resistance training with bands. So doing a lot of stuff like this to help strengthen my auxiliary muscles in my back. Basically make sure that I don't have rotator cuff injuries. I use weights if I find myself in a gym, which happens twice a month. So if I find myself in a gym, I'll do 15 minutes of weightlifting where I'm usually doing a deadlift or a squat or like a full body exercise to just get my muscles a little more tired than they're used to with bodyweight exercises. But it's such a minimal amount of weight training that it really doesn't have an effect on my overall fitness routine. So that's my answer. I do weight training maybe twice a month, so a very minimal amount, and it has very little effect on my training in particular. I used to do weight training when I was an athlete, but I have not done weight training consistently for 3 years. I've lost about 8 pounds of muscle, or 8 pounds total, probably mostly other stuff. Anyways, and then the last question we have is from Mark Short. And Mark says, hey, I love the MFY yoga. I'm a big fan of Ben Greenfield and learned you through his podcast. Shout out to Ben Greenfield. You're awesome. Great meeting you at Paleo FX, and thanks again for having me on your podcast. I do triathlons, and I'm trying to get back into golf by strengthening my core. I have 2 degenerative discs in my back. I just started doing MFY yoga 3 weeks ago, and now do it every other day with bike, run, swim, lifting on other days. Great. Really focused on diet out of Ben's book, Beyond Training, as well. Question I really need help on is a good yoga routine to do as a warm-up before playing golf. Thanks, and keep up the great work. Mark, so I haven't golfed consistently since I was 14. But a couple of weeks ago, my girlfriend surprised me by taking me out to a driving range called Top Golf. It has a driving range, it has golf, and it has beer and all sorts of snacks. It's a fun way to golf. Without the having to be quiet and walking around type thing. I thought I would be crap, but much to my surprise, I was hitting the ball 200 yards plus with a 4-iron. Point of the story is that before I started hitting the ball, I considered what I wanted to do to warm up. So I thought about the swinging motion involved in golf and what I would want to target before I started. Ultimately, I decided on exercises that involve twist, core engagement, poses to relax my shoulders, and scapular stretches. Because I didn't want to be using my back too much. I wanted to make sure that I was utilizing my core, and I wanted to make sure that my shoulders were nice and open so that I was using the full range of motion of my shoulders as I was swinging. Also wanted to get my hips involved, because hips are extremely important in any swinging exercises, whether it's lacrosse, baseball, or golf. So, here are my 5 exercises for you to do. You're going to start with standing twists. Arms out to the side, and then just twisting from side to side, keeping your hips facing forward as straight as possible. From there, you're going to go to eagle arms, wrapping one arm under the other and pushing the backs of your hands together. Not interlacing your fingers, but rather pushing the backs of your hands together so that you're getting a little bit more activation in those muscles. Warrior 1 with goalpost arms. So, taking a step back to pointing out 45 degrees, arms out here like this, and working on opening up your chest and engaging the muscles, your scapular muscles, and your back. So pretty much the exact opposite of eagle arms. After that, you're going to go to a deep squat with core engagement. So just work on getting as deep as you can into a squat, using your elbows to push inside your knees to force them out wider, and start getting into your hips like that. And then from there, we're going to go to a forward fold with your fingers interlaced behind your back. So just a basic forward fold, hands behind your back, pressing together, lifting your chest up to help open up your chest, and that will help prepare you for a better twisting motion when you do get in that golf stance. All right, so that was the first Ask Dean episode on YouTube. If you want questions answered, leave them here in the comments, or send them to me at dean@manfulyoga.com or askdean@manfulyoga.com, and I'm going to answer about 5 questions a week. So depending on how awesome your question is, how creative it is, if it's something that I haven't heard before, I will answer it. So, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, and I will see you guys next week. Take care.